Hello, my name is Lyndell and I'd like to thank you for coming along to have a look at the How to Be Happier diet. Now, the How to Be Happier diet is actually a holistic program that assists in being able to deal with your emotional issues and life stresses, which actually impact quite heavily on how our body reacts to the ability of being able to reduce body fat. Now, if you're anything like me, you've tried the multitude of diets that just tell you to eat less and move more. Now, that didn't work for me at all, and it wasn't until a few years ago, after nearly 40 years of battling my own body fat issues, I finally came to a way of being able to deal with the emotional stresses and the factors that were affecting me hormonally that were stopping me from reducing this excess body fat. Now, I was born premature and my mother wanted a nice healthy baby, so she overfed me on pretty much anything she could get hold of so that I'd be a nice fat healthy baby and have reserves if I became sick in any way. So Mum also had this thing that if I became upset as I was a small child, she would go hug, hug, kiss, kiss, come on darling, it'll be all right, have a biscuit or have a lolly or have something pleasant to eat so that I would actually change how I feel. And what that did is it actually did two things. It set me up to be a fat child or an overweight child, which then led into an overweight teenager and an overweight adult. But it also taught me that if I was upset in any way or not dealing with life, food was my friend and that it would make me feel better. So for most of my life I've yo-yoed up and down. I've tried every single, lotion and potion and, promised diet that's going to help me get all this weight off. And I've tried some really ridiculous ones, and I have a huge library of the latest diet out that was going to do this for me. But what I found was that every time I cut down to 2 lettuce leaves and a carrot stick and tried to exercise, a lot more than what I was, I just ended up exhausted and, basically was really getting depressed and not coping with the deprivation because, two big things for me is deprivation, not being able to have this or that or just anything normal, and having to isolate myself from, life in general. Because I had to get this, 2 lettuce leaves and a carrot stick to get the weight off, and also boredom. I found that I was on one diet at one stage and everything was green. I had green soup and green vegetables and green everything, and I got really excited one day when I made cauliflower soup and it was white. It wasn't actually green. So deprivation and boredom are a big issue. And apart from the fact that I've, fought my own battle over the years, I've also worked at a weight loss clinic, and most clients had this perfect diet and they could stick to it and they were doing very, very well at reducing excess body fat until they got to a point where they couldn't cope with stress or there was an emotional issue in their life that just went, oh no, I can't cope. I just don't want to have to deal with, 2 lettuce leaves and a carrot stick anymore. I need to just, be able to live instead of this deprivation all the time. So I found, 20 odd years ago, my life really became very, very stressful and I didn't have a way to actually deal with what was happening for me. I thought I was going quite crazy. There was a big issue going on in my family around the time my mother died. And I was mad, sad, crazy. I just didn't know how to cope with what was happening. So I was introduced to natural therapies and I found them so powerful that I ended up training to become a kinesiologist and an energy worker and a meditation teacher and a Bowen therapist, etc. So I've found these wonderful, valuable tools that then came in very, very handy for me as life became even more difficult with an unexpected divorce, etc. So they've kept me sort of sane, but they've definitely helped me be able to cope with some really heavy duty stuff that was thrown at me, and it's saved my life. And most people don't understand what an emotion is or how to manage it. So that's what this book's all about. It's about giving you really valuable, empowering tools for you to understand how your emotions work and how your stresses work. And if you are getting stressed, what hormones actually are released into your body that then actually stop body fat reduction. So we're not just a body, we're a spiritual being using a body as a vehicle, and we have all the hormones and we have the food, and we also have built-in survival techniques and programs that if you start to cut down too much with food, your body starts to think you're in famine and that you might not survive. So what it does is it puts another hormone into the system to actually stop the release of body fat, because your body fat is your stores for you to survive. So if you just start to eat a whole lot less and start to exercise way too much, or a lot more than what you normally would, you would think that that would get the fat off. But in actual fact, your body will start to fight against you, and it will just go, no, you need to survive, so we're going to cut back and stop the fat being released. So we really need to understand our emotional self and how our hormones work and what different foods actually do to the body. I'm not qualified to tell you what to eat, but I can tell you what different foods do affect your body and how they affect the body. As a bone therapist, I can tell you what not to do when it comes to exercising, and that's pretty much run out and do too much and hurt yourself. So this book is filled with goal setting plans. So it's a life map of how to completely change your life. There's goal setting, realistic goals we're looking to achieve, and being able to find particular belief systems that may have been sabotaging your efforts in the past. I'm going to show you how to clear belief systems and have really positive belief systems that are going to assist in you being able to achieve, your goals and your dreams. Also, there's lots of work on the human energy field and what an emotion actually is and how to clear the energy of an emotion and deal with different stresses. So it's a very, very empowering book. There's lots of valuable tools in it. So I highly recommend that you give it a go so that you will have really super empowering tools. I've written this book because I can only deal with one client at a time, and I just see so much pain out there that's caused by people not understanding how to deal with their emotional issues, or really fighting the battle of the bulge and raging war on their body and constantly losing. If they do get a few pounds off, like I used to, it just comes back on again. So this way, I've now been on the How to Be Happier diet myself for quite a while, and I'm reducing body fat very nicely. It just comes off easily. I eat whatever I want to eat. I exercise if and when I want to. I'm not forcing myself. I'm not fighting with my body, and it's working very, very nicely for me. I've tried it on many, many clients and family and friends, and it's been very effective for them. So I've written this book for you so that you can have some tools to be able to change your life, to be much, much happier within yourself. When you become happier within yourself, you make better life choices. You reach for, what I've found with the group that I've worked with, we've been reaching for better quality food because we're no longer looking for sweetness or something nice in something else. We've actually got the happiness within ourselves. So you'll get to like yourself, you'll get to understand yourself, you'll get to know yourself, and you might even get to love yourself. And so that is wonderful. There's great stuff in there for improving self-esteem and being able to let go of so much pain. So please give it a go. And thank you for your time. And I've actually created a little meditation for you, and it's at the link below. So please give us a go. And I really hope that you look forward to a much, much happier life. Thank you.